At this point, I would like to invite the media houses that are here and have set up their microphones. I believe you guys have all done all of that, to start asking your questions. I would like to remind you that you guys are allotted 2 questions per media house, and the head table here is going to be providing you guys with clarifications or different answers that they might have. If you have any questions regarding the financial status of the town council, please proceed. For the viewers that have just joined us, we are currently here at the press conference for the financial status of the San Pedro Town Council, and so we're now moving into the question and answer segment. Please proceed. Who is going to start first?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Should I just ask from here?
Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay.
You can introduce yourself to say what media house you're from and the question that you are asking. Go ahead.
Jan Solo from Ray TV. How is all the new road construction being funded?
That will be in our next audit report, Mr. Dan. We have been working on how we are putting together our. It's part of a municipal bond, but I wouldn't want to talk much about it until we get everything in detail so that we can show the media houses. It will be part of our audit as well of 2023.
Okay. And as to your questions about the finances, I too was a victim of previous administration. My property taxes were raised arbitrarily over three times the amount. Are there any plans to raise property taxes?
Well, it's not necessarily to raise property taxes, but what we are looking at in the next term is to be able to have a level playing field, something more balanced so that everybody can calculate their property taxes and to be fair with everybody.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for working with me on resolving that issue too.
Yes.
Town Council has been very good on working with resolving the mess up that occurred with mine.
Right.
I have some personal experience with it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next media house, please introduce yourself and your questions after.
Hi, good morning. Vijay Alvarez from Nova News. I wanted to ask about the ongoing negotiations for I think it's over $1 million. Where is the council on that, and how would that debt forgiveness be able to assist the council and free up coffers for the other important projects?
Yes, we're working together with GOB to get that that loan written off. That's a 1.5 million GOB, if I'm correct that you're referring to, right? Which is roughly around 1 million to get it written off.
Is there any timeline in terms of when you guys are waiting for a response from the government, or?
We are in constant communication with them, and I'm sure that it will be done before the term in office is completed.
Next media house. You come closer.
Go ahead, Mr. Johnson. You're a king of San Pedro.
Just to introduce yourself, Dion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Your Banson, San Pedro Song. So we have seen the audit for our transfer report for 2021-2022, and as you mentioned, that you funded the council in a bad situation. So at this moment, you can say that there are no overdraft. There is everything is balancing, and the council is in a good position whereby there is enough resources to run the administration and the school.
Yes, that is correct. We haven't had a need for an overdraft since June of 2021. We have a healthy cash flow in the town council that we have been able to do works and the daily operations, and we're in a comfortable way moving forward. I wish we would have inherited a town council like that. A lot more could have been done.
The second question is about something that has to do with what is somewhat plaguing the island when it comes to traffic congestion. Has there been an increase in the issue of the permits, or is that controlled? Because one of the main complaints from police is that the traffic is getting congested. So I don't know if you can answer that here, but have there been any any plans to control the importation of vehicles to the island?
Yes, that's a little bit more of on another topic. We're targeting more here on the financials, but yes, I will be answering that we are looking as a council different measures to be able to control traffic. There is also, we're working in partnership with the Traffic Control Committee to see how best we can alleviate some of that traffic and the different times that certain types of vehicles are allowed on the streets.
Morning. Thank you.
I can ask this question. I like to do that.
2 questions and maybe later. Thank you.
Hi, morning, Marian Ali from News 5.
I got a mic.
Sorry.
Then,
Sorry, that's...
yeah, this will work. This will work.
It's a feed, I think, to someone else.
Also, who have the mic?
I did. You want it?
Okay, yeah, good, no problem. I can show.
Okay.
No problem.
You
First
talk
of all,
loud enough, man.
Mayor, thanks for having us. A flight costs more than 2 questions, so. when I show the financials, the revenue for the 2022, which is quite significant. How much of that revenue would you say is from the licensing of vehicles and golf carts? What percentage of the revenue does that represent?
Because in total of that 9.1 million, we have the percentage that we collect mostly it will be from property tax, and then you have liquor and trade. But from the traffic, it would roughly be around 20 to 25%.
20 to 25%. Okay, so 25% is a quarter. It's about 2 point something million. Is there a system where you all have an accurate inventory of the number of vehicles licensed? Is there a system that you all can refer to and say, oh yes, we have X number licensed in January, X number in February, etc.? I have heard that such a system is lacking or not working.
Not anymore. We just got our traffic department fully on board with the new municipality, whereby we can track all of that, how many vehicles are being registered, how many vehicles are registered in the entire island. Before, everything was done only manually. There was only records on files, and it has been quite a task for our department to be putting all of this data into the new municipality. So now we have that in place, and it's easier for us to be able to see or track down who has how many vehicles. If somebody comes and applies for a permit, we're already able to see if that person owns a vehicle already. Before, you couldn't track that down.
As a follow-up, beyond the wholesome discipline of that system, which congratulations you've introduced. So in the interim, you're doing it by paper, and we know that whenever things are done by paper, it's the nature of human beings that, hustling happens. In the interim, might some errant officers or some persons have been using that system, manipulating that system for the purpose of hustling.
For that reason, we had to change to the new municipality, because initially when we took office, there was a lot of discrepancies going on in the traffic department. It was like a complete overhaul that we had to do to the entire department and the system that was in place, because there was a lot of things that were not adding up. We couldn't be checking to see how much tickets were issued. There was no record of how much stickers were handed out. Now we have all of that in place. There's a sequence, there's numbering, and there is accountability in that department.
Will you all bring a civil suit against anyone or press criminal charges?
Well, we have been working on that from the beginning, but there is a lot of information missing as to how we can be able to target one person individually, right?
2 questions. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Alright, so good morning again, Marnelali from News 5. So Mayor, you've explained that the next audit report will have more revelations as to how the council proceeds in the future. But my question is, has the council had the need to enter into any new loans with any, whether it's a bank or a company, and what would the total be, or how much are we looking at if that is the case?
Okay, well, it is not necessarily one loan. What we're doing is the municipal bonds to be able to raise the funds to be able to do all the road works that we're doing. But that will be part of our presentation when it comes to the new audit that it will be ready by October. So I wouldn't want to get into that at the moment until we have everything in place.
I have one more question.
Just one more question?
Yeah. So how was the council really able to pay off some of the large amounts of debt, given that you inherited a cash constrained council? And was there any areas that you guys sought to maybe have budget cuts or anything like that?
Well, initially upon taking office, we saw that there was a lot of revenue coming in, and it's just management. Because I don't know what the previous administration was doing, but we realized quickly that if we put the system in place to manage these funds, the money is coming in, nobody is stealing it, it can go to good use. And we started paying off our bills. We started to control the management of the council, being able to pay off all our debt. And on top of that, our daily operations.
So, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, so if I can have my question too now. With the little that you've been able to have in surplus since dealing with all of that, what you've inherited, can you say where you've been able to prioritize in terms of development those funds or those surpluses that the council has realized? What has been your priority areas for those funds?
Yes, one of the main things, Ms. Marion, is when we took office that there was a lot of streets that were in deplorable conditions, and the bridge was in the brink of being collapsed. We all know that it was an emergency fix that we had to do initially. We had to move quickly to be able to work on that bridge, because we couldn't afford the bridge to collapse, and that connection from the north to the south is no longer what we used to call a luxury, to go up north and have a little ride up north. Now it's part of town, right? So we had to prioritize with the bridge, we had to prioritize with the street works, because people in the different areas need to be able to get to and from work. Kids need to get to school. So we had to put those things as priority when it came to how we were going to be spending the monies. Any other question?
I think if you would like to take more questions, Mayor, it's up to you. If anyone else.
I think so, ma'am.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Rebecca from San Pedro Scoop, and you mentioned as part of the achievements, attracting innovative investments to the island. Can you give a few examples of that kind of investment that's come to the island?
Okay, that is something very important, because upon international banks looking at our council turning quickly around, they realize that they can work with us, and we are able to be able to do different projects. And one of the perfect examples is the San Mateo project, where we will be working with part of our project, which is the paving it forward, but they're also interested in assisting the council in paving more streets, adding lighting, putting a new bridge if possible. So we attract other international agencies to be able and help the council in other aspects.
Thank you.
Would you like to accept more questions?
One more.
One more from anyone else?
Per person.
One more per person?
I'll go first again. Then. So, and thank you for extending the time for us. Mayor, I wanted to touch on I won't call it slum areas, the underdeveloped areas of your municipality or your town. Can you say what your plan is stepping ahead going into the new election season? What those residents can expect in terms of developing those areas? Because I know a lot of it has been unplanned development in those areas. Can you share with us what?
Sure, we also have plans for the roads that were not really worked on or that were not paved. We have road works to be done in different residential areas of town. But this is part of the plan. It is not something that a lot of people come and say, well, you guys are doing it because elections are around the corner. No, we started to work on these streets from day one. And it is an ongoing project, and it takes time. And also because of the weather, it has been delayed, but we are there working in the different areas. Not only with streets, there's also lighting, especially like in the north. There was some lighting that was done in the different streets. Where there is no light, there was also some road works that have been done there.
Someone else?
Alright, so would you be able to speak about your recent meeting with the Minister of Sustainable Development? What were those discussions like, and how is the council trying to balance the rapid tourism growth and sustainable development? Because I see several times there have been persons who come on Facebook to complain that mangroves are being cut in this area or in that area. So what's being done to strike that balance?
Okay, well, there is good news that the ministry is bringing to San Pedro DOE and forestry to be currently present here in San Pedro full time, which we will be working together with our local building unit and the San Pedro Town Council, which is very important because sometimes there are things that happen and we don't get to know until afterwards and it was approved somewhere else. And if we have everybody in-house, it will be easier for us to communicate and have everything in place.
So those are units that are going to be established on the island?
Yes, that is correct.
Someone else?
Yes, if I may, thank you. Yes, sir. If you could speak about the issue of the streets. We see a number of streets being paved, as I mentioned, as well. And you all are sourcing these funds from your regular recurrent revenue, I imagine, right? Are you all able to say if the central government, A, is helping with your streets as they push towards municipal elections? We know they're doing it all over. This is what happens, right? Central government comes in February or in late January and, helps the municipalities so that they can have success in the next election. Are you all receiving such assistance? And B, are your streets, I get the sense that it's an operation like what Darrell Bradley had done in Belize City. Great that they're being paved, but no plan for drainage or so. We just pave right now. Could you answer those two, A and B? There's one question.
I like how you have your questions A and B. It reminds me of school.
Right?
First of all, working with central government is not now only for elections. Central government has been assisting the town council ever since we took office. And we have been working closely with them in partnership to be able to do different road works. And it is not something that started right now because of the elections. When it comes to the different roads and the drainage, initially when we started to fix the roads to prepare them for the pavement, the drainage was started on the different sides of the roads to see how the area itself would drain, because it is different in these low-lying areas to be able to do drains on the actual street as it was done here in town. Because if you do it that way, you're only going to drain the water that falls on the street. You will not be able to drain the entire area. So it is a task because they have to be looking at how the water would be running from different sides. And so there were stretches that were created in the different residential areas, along with culverts and everything that was installed. Now, when the pavement started, there has been some blockages in different areas where people put their entrances, they fill it in. So we are going back now to the people to be able to clear those areas so that the water will drain. And we also have the culverts in place. There is also a different design coming up to be able to create the drainage that would cross the street a different way so that it will be easier for our council to clean it out prior to any storm or any rains coming down. So all of that is in place and all of that is in the planning. It is not that we are building streets just for building streets. We can see in the past administration's work that was done in the north where they didn't put any culverts. It was just built because elections was coming. So we're not there, we're building it properly.
I think.
And with that, we draw into the second segment. I know that you mentioned that you guys have been working very closely with the auditors and being told that they are present here today, and I would like to acknowledge and thank them for being able to take and work with the San Pedro Town Council, and ask for a round of applause for the auditors that are here today. Based on what we have learned today, the auditors, along with the finance department, have taken nothing and made it into something that is now considered well established. And so thank you. We run into the third segment. Any thank yous that you would like to give to close?
Yeah, I will give
Yes.
a closing and then
Well, thank you, Mayor. I would just simply like to say thank you to the media to being present. I'd also like, as the Mistress of Ceremony has said, the auditor that has worked with us, our accounting manager. It was a challenge. It was not an easy task to get all information and put together. I trust that information that was provided to you this morning shows what bad management was, and it shows now what good management is. So that is my thank you for today.
I want to say thank you to the media houses for your questions. I want to thank Mr. Reynaldo for being present here, for providing us with the assistance that we needed to accomplish these audits. And I want to especially thank the team at the San Pedro Town Council, every employee, for their hard work, because without them, we wouldn't be able to ensure that all of these things are now in place and being able to provide the public with the information that they need. So I thank everyone at the San Pedro Town Council for their hard work, and I encourage you all to continue.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank my team, the councillors, for the support, because from the start we decided that we wanted to do an audit report, and they were there supporting. An audit report is not cheap, but it is something very important because it's something that will show to the public that we're being transparent, we're being accountable, and that we have nothing to hide. This is the first time that the San Pedro Town Council in its history has done an independent audit. There has been other audits done internally, but this is an independent audit which has never been done before, and it is something that we owe it to the people because it is their money that we are managing. And I have realized that a lot of people are happy to contribute once they can see where their money is going to. Once they can see that their money is going to good use, people don't mind contributing towards the cause. So with that said, I want to thank the media houses. I want to thank everyone here present today for all the support from the Honorable Andre Perez as well. I want to thank the team of the Town Council for all the hard work that has been going on for the past 3 years now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we close.